We end up at a Taco Bell, which is fine. We get to the speaker and he just leans over and goes, I would like 100 hard-shell tacos. Thank you.
Do you know this man tried to kiss me? And while I was like pulling back like this, he reached for my butt and he squeezed it like fufu.
These are some of the worst first date experiences I have ever found on the internet. If you think yours is crazier than this, let me hear them in the comment section. Watch till the very end so you also know if they are crazier than your own or if yours is crazier than this one's.
What's the worst first date I've ever been on? I'm so glad you asked. I'm going to tell you right now.
Okay.
Before I met my smoke show of a husband, I was on dating apps, as you do. This man messages me out of the blue and he goes, I like your face. Let's go get some food.
Okay.
I love food. Are you my soulmate? He says, meet me at my house. I will drive us to the restaurant together. Why did we not just meet there? I have no idea. I drive 45 minutes to his house. He's standing outside of it. He walks up to my car and he goes, I've lost my keys. Can you drive us there? Should I have just left him right there and gone home?
Yes.
Did I? Absolutely not. He gets in, starts giving me turn-by-turn directions. He could have been leading me to an abandoned warehouse and I still would have been like, left at this stop sign? Okay. We end up at a Taco Bell.
She is hilarious.
Which is fine.
Okay.
I'm like, dine in or drive through? And he's like, drive through. I'm like, great, he has a plan. We get to the speaker and he just leans over and goes, I would like 100 hard-shell tacos. Thank you.
Sorry, did she say 100? 100?
We get to the window.
Okay.
He does one of these numbers. I'm like, did you forget your wallet? And he's like, yeah. I was like, do you need me to pay? He's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. I buy the 100 tacos and I'm like, where to next? And he goes, back to my house. And I was like,
Why?
okay, this is happening.
Okay.
I'm committed to this now. It's happening. We get to his house, we walk in, his dad is on the couch. I'm like, he lives with his dad. It's fine. The hoops I am teleporting through
Okay.
to convince myself that this decision that I have made is okay is just wild. Walk past his dad into the kitchen. He just starts emptying the boxes of tacos, just releasing them onto the table. Puts 2 chairs at the table, sits down, and he just screams at the top of his lungs, let's feast.
Ooh.
I am just calmly unwrapping my taco and taking a bite of it. We are eating hard-shell tacos in complete silence. You can hear both of us chewing. It's absolute chaos. The dad walks up, grabs a taco. There's 100 of them. We have so many to spare. He's eating over us, just like standing, doesn't sit, stands right next to the table, crunches, mouth full. He just looks at me and he goes, do you want to see my studio?
No.
And I was like, I have never wanted to see anything less in my entire life. It was that moment that I decided this date was completely over or else I was going to be killed.
Girl.
100%. I am now just like collecting the tacos.
I mean, you
because
paid for it.
I walk out with boxes of tacos in my purse. I look back and I was like, thank you for this experience. You will never hear from me again.
This is not his first time. He has done that over and over and over and over again. And it's either that or like there was a bet. There was a bet. But guess what, guys? There's an update because there are so many questions. Now, let's see if the updates will like cover the questions that we have.
All right. I'm here to answer all the questions about Taco
Okay.
Guy. They're hard
Taco
hitting,
Guy.
and I've got the tea. Number 1, what was his name? I can't remember for the life of me, I'm sorry. All right, next question. Did you actually buy 100 tacos or are you exaggerating for the story? I literally bought 100 crunchy tacos from Taco Bell for this man and I probably would have bought 1,000 if he ordered them.
Why?
If you say that you would have done something different, you're either lying or you're not a woman who has met somebody online for the first time. Next question, how much did it cost? Well, a hard-shell taco right now at Taco Bell is $1.39. Times 100 is $139.
Tax?
7.25% for tax puts you at about $149.07, which was 2 times the amount of money that I spent on groceries every week, which is what that money was actually for. All right, this is a 2-parter. Number 1, how long did it take to make the tacos? And number 2, what did you talk about while you waited? It felt like an eternity.
Okay.
In reality, it was about only 15 minutes, and the customer service was pretty great. We parked, they brought the tacos out to our car like the true heroes of the story that they are. Number 2, we talked about his ex-girlfriend, so.
There's still a particular question that nobody asks. What did you do with the remaining tacos that you packed? Now, the second question that I want to ask is, What was the expression on their faces when you were leaving? Like, why is nobody asking these questions? I want to know this so badly. So badly. I mean, I do know that like there are some girlies that literally go on dates just for food. Trust me, I'm Nigerian. No shades to the Nigerian girlies out there. For some of y'all, I'll be doing too much. Okay? But like, I know that there are some girlies that do that. But I didn't know that guys did that too. That is actually ridiculous. Like, get a job. Now, if you think that your story is crazier than this and you want to share them on this platform, go ahead to check our email. It's in the description box. I always mess up that word. It's in the description box, so go check it out, click on it, and like send us your own what's it called? Droplets. No droplets. Experience, girl. Your experience, your first worst date experience.
I went on one of the worst dates that I've been on yesterday.
Okay.
I and this person were talking for a while, and he's like, I want to take you on a date, let's go to dinner. Very proactive. He picked a place, picked a time. He was like, I'm going to come pick you up. While we're at the restaurant, I decided to play this game. There's this game that I play on first and second dates that tells me everything that I need to know about someone. It tells me if I should.
Okay.
The questions he asked me was, how many dates have you been on this year? And I told him I've been on 3 dates, blah, 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 blah. Just give context, you know? So I asked him about his childhood. I asked him about his upbringing. I found it very fascinating, just asking more questions like that. The next question he asked me was, have you ever had sex with someone on the first date? And I said, no, I've never done that. Why asking me that? And he's like, no reason. I was like, don't you want to get to know other things about me? Aren't there other things that you want to know? You don't know anything. And then he says, what's your dream job? If you were in this line of career, what would you be doing?
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay, this is a very tricky one because there's something I've always wanted to do. I tend not to share it with people. It's something I hold very close to me. I don't know, can you ask me something else? And then he says, is it OnlyFans? Excuse me? Are you stupid? I said, what do you mean by that? So I go ahead and just tell him what it is. So he says, oh no, because you were ashamed. I said, who said I was ashamed? I said it's something that I hold close to me and I don't tell people so that they don't shoot it down. Does that sound like OnlyFans? Are you mad? So he says, oh no,
this is a Nigerian
he was just wondering. But at this point, I could already tell the kind of person I was dealing with. The pattern of questioning already told me what I was dealing with here. So I asked him some more questions and then he says, what's your body count? I was like, I don't remember the last time anybody asked me that. It's just something that doesn't come up in conversation. So I went ahead and I told him and he says, oh, okay, I just want to be sure that you don't sleep around. I was triggered. I said, why? He said, because no man wants a woman that sleeps around. I said, hey. Let me stop you there. The thing is, I personally don't advocate for having a lot of sexual partners. I don't think it does anyone good, male or female. I've never met somebody that is well adjusted that has a lot of sexual partners. That's my opinion anyways. I said, it's okay for that to be a boundary for you. That's perfectly fine. But I don't think you have the right to speak for all people. As you find that is unbearable for you, someone else can bear it. I said it's not like people don't have these thoughts. They do. But people just do a better job at evaluating people than asking stupid questions like this. Then the next question he asks me is, stupid. How old is the oldest man that you've gone out on a date with? And I said 55. He pushed his chair back and he was like, what? Do you know how that makes you look? I said, how does that make me look? Tell me. He said, do you know what people would say if they hear that? I was like, trust me, lots of the people on the internet have heard. People knew when I was going out on that date. Because I went on a date because I found it fascinating. And lots of people found it fascinating as well. I was like, it's not you that'll tell me who I am. It's not people that'll tell me who I am. I know what I was doing there. I know myself. I know myself very well. Nobody said anything about it. Everybody thought it was fascinating. I don't know why you're tripping. He's like, so you mean you'd have fucked him? I'm quoting. I was too stunned to speak. Then the next words that came out of my mouth is there something wrong with you? And he was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I said, no, I actually need you to answer the question I just asked you. Are you sick in the head and is there something wrong with you? Do not speak to me like that again. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I just got nervous. I think this game is making me... I was like, no, it's not about the game. I don't force you to say any of the things that you said. He was like, oh, I'm sorry. While he was talking, I just put my head in my hand like this. You know what you're thinking? I was thinking about whether I should stand up and leave immediately, but I kind of felt sorry and I felt embarrassed for him. So I told him to bring the car around and I was ready to go home. He brought the car around and I got in the car. He says, oh, do you want to come to mine so that we can just chill. While he was talking, I said, please take me home. So now I'm looking at it like, you spent all this time judging women and calling them
But you
hoes.
want to do the
Yet
same
you
thing.
want to make me the hoe that you speak of. If I came into this date and I told you that, oh, normally on the first date, I go home and I have sex with people, you would have judged me, but yet you're trying to do the exact same thing with me. So he took me home, and when I got home, I was like, thank you for this date, blah, blah, blah. I knew I was not going to see him again, and I felt very bad for him. I was like, thank you for this date. It's been great. I'm ready to
Never
go home.
reach
He was
me
like, oh, are you
again.
gonna give me a hug? I said, no. Do you know this man tried to kiss me? And while I was like pulling back like this, he reached for my butt and squeezed it like fufu. I'm wondering why I didn't slap him now. Those men that always scream about how women are hoes and this, like, and that, they're the ones that always do stuff like
tell me
this.
about
So
it.
when he did it, I was like, why did you do that? He said he thought we were having a moment.
You don't know
I just want
anything
to
about
announce my
consent?
door. Feel free to share your terrible date stories in the comments. At the end of my videos, I always like to have something useful to say, but there's actually nothing. I guess watch out for flies. I don't know. I want to do with stupid man. That's it.